Okay, so this is what I call an insane chart. If you've been following the videos, you'll remember that on Friday, 21st of May, the price climbed nicely. Our buy line is way down here. Let's just go and look for it. This is where we bought on the 19th of May. Year starts the 20th of May. So we bought here on the 19th of May. 20th of May, the price of the Nasdaq futures increased nicely. We're now on the 15-minute chart. Insane moving average signals. So close together, anything could happen. The price could either fly down or fly up. The Chicago Fed data has just been released. It does not meet expectations, so it's a disappointment. One would expect the price to have dropped, but it hasn't. It's waiting. And I think it's waiting because there is some developments I heard on the news, some developments in the infrastructure deal that President Biden has put on the table, even though the GOP has rejected his new proposal. I did hear on the news they're now thinking of going partisan, but they're arguing that they're not going partisan, but some people are saying they are going to go partisan, which means that the Democrats will just go ahead with the bill and vote on their own. And the Democratic senator that is so conservative, also Joe Manchin, he's starting to get a bit annoyed with the GOPs. And I think that's why the price is continuing to go up, because the investors are thinking and hoping that the infrastructure bill is going to be approved. So the reason I say this is insane is because you look at the 5 minutes, it's really not great. The 5 minute 200 hour is way down here. One would expect it to have to go and fetch that, and it might still, which will mean it will wipe out the profits in the entire European session, which we did see happening on Friday. And then after that, or it was Thursday, and then after that, it climbed again. So this does tell me that there is a good chance that investors coming up now in the US session might have to go and fetch this 200-hour moving average on the 5 minute chart. But it's a nightmare because this 15-minute chart looks so beautiful. It's a pure buy signal. 14 hours, 35 hours. It's busy pulling the 50 hour above the 100 hour. Then the 100 hour will be above the 200 hour, and that's a perfect buy signal. But nothing's guaranteed. I shouldn't say perfect because nothing's perfect. If it gets above this cluster here, if the price gets above this cluster of moving averages, then we stand a much better chance of the price going higher. Let's have a look at 30 minutes. 30-minute chart. This is where it dropped. So this morning at the open, Monday morning, Friday it closed here, the price. Monday morning it dropped. And my view was it dropped so that it gets more traction to pull the 200-hour moving average on the 30-minute chart to pull it up. And you can see it has pulled it up. So other than the 5-minute chart, which makes it look insane, this looks great. But I've been caught many, many times in my trading history, life, with the 5-minute chart. So let's wait and see. The 1 hour chart, I'm just going to quickly, so there's our buy price. This is where we bought. This is where the price is now. Also, a very clear buy signal, except if that 35 hour falls below the 50 hour, it could still pull the 14 hour through and take all of these moving averages up. That could happen. Let's have a look at the 2 hour. I want to go back to the 5 minutes. Now I just want to show you something else. The 2 hour chart, if it pulls the 35 hour up through the 2 hour, that'll be even better. It did get above that one which we spoke about in the previous in one of the previous videos, it got above that curve, and I said if it holds above that curve, we stand a chance for it to go higher. So I'm looking for it to go high, 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 past this high, and then even further. That's what I'm looking at the trade for. This is the record high. I'm looking for it to go right past. So if it can pull all these moving averages up, then that's what we're looking for. Up and over, that's the 100 hours. So now we're looking for the 35-minute and the 50-minute, hour, 35-hour, 50-hour to pull up past the 100-hour. Now, when I talk about pulling up, if these moving averages get pulled up, like let's have a look at the 15-minute, for example, you can see how the 200-hour has been pulled up. Now, the only way it can do that is if there's more buyers than sellers, because if there were more investors selling, it would have pushed the 200-hour moving average down, but it's pulled it up. There is always a chance that it could be pulling something else down that we're not watching. We must watch. It is pulling the 4-hour down. So this is where it becomes so important that we watch the economic data, watch the headlines, listen to the news, hear what's going on, to learn whether the Nasdaq futures is going to fall. Is it pulling the 4-hour down so that it can go down further? Or is it pulling the 35-hour and the 50-hour up and through so that it can go higher? That is the trick of trading. And it doesn't have to be a trick if you are watching data releases, listening to the news, and watching the headlines. We'll keep on watching, but like I say, this is insane. With a 5-minute chart, so that means the 5-minute chart starting let's say, even early morning. The buying has not been hectic, because if the buying was hectic, it would have pulled this 5-minute 200-hour up more. It might have to go and fetch it, which, like I say, wipes out the entire European trading profit, which is not unusual to happen when the USA traders come online. Okay.